Hello my fiery friends, welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I am your host the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, alright, we're officially now in spooky season completely now. Well actually I realized we have been in spooky season, but the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because I'm honestly kind of over Oven Paths. No, seriously, my creative juices have been kind of flatlining, trying to figure out decks to work with all the spider cards, and I'm over it already. No, seriously, get me to Avatar already. Like, seriously, I really want to just now jump into that. Not because, again, I think it's going to be a much more better and more beloved set, but also, I'm a big fan of Avatar. But again, we'll ramble about that a little bit later on. So, now that you kind of have that pretext out of the way, what exactly are we going to be playing today? Well, since it's officially going to be going into October here, I actually do want to start embracing some more fun decks that kind of utilize creature types that we also haven't either played for a while, or actually have never played with. So, let's jump into it and explain to you as I'm rambling what exactly I'm trying to get at. If you haven't already noticed from the title here, join me today in the Pioneer format for a deck that is simply called Spirit Squad. That's right. So we have actually never done a Spirit deck before, so I'm actually really excited to see how we can make this work. Honestly, as you can see right here, this is probably going to be as cheap as you can make a Spirit deck work in Arena. So we'll go over that again, how it's all going to work in a second. For those of you that are just joining us right now, and those of you, of course, whether you're watching live or on the replay, here's mostly how it's going to work. Let's go over the stats of the deck first. We'll talk about every single card in the deck. Then we'll play as many matches as we can in ranked format, best of 1. We'll cram in some best of 3. And if you do like the deck, we'll then take it to the next level. Let's do some upgrades later on halfway through the stream to see how well we can really push out this deck if we actually want to go all out. But before we get started, let's go over the stats of the deck real quick for you. Long-time viewers of the channel know, of course, how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So our Spirit Squad deck is going to be mono blue. We're looking at an average mana curve about 1.8, and it's going to be as simple as can be. 24 creatures, 13 instants, 4 enchantments, and 19 lands. 19 lands does look very low for us, but honestly, it's kind of skewed a little bit for a couple of reasons. We'll explain to you how it works as we kind of cover the cards. So let's cover the one-drop slot first. In the one-drop slot, we'll, of course, talk about our spirits primarily. Mausoleum Wanderer is going to be one of them, along with Spectral Sailor here. So Spectral Sailor, flash flying, it enters, and then for later on, you can pay 4 mana to just simply draw a card. It's also got flying to it, so it's great for us as an evasive creature. Also, Mausoleum Wanderer here, another blue spirit, has flying, and it's a 1/1, and it says whenever another spirit we control enters, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. You can sacrifice, however, this creature to counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays X, where X is this creature's power. So this is actually going to be a great way to kind of protect our game plan as we start building out all of our spirits. In order for us to get more value out of this, we're also going to be having some support with Phantom Interference. So from Thunder Junction, this is a spree card, so technically it's actually more expensive than a 1-drop. But it says safe right here. If you want to, with 1 plus an extra 1, you can then counter target spell unless its controller pays 2, or if you want to pay an extra 3 for a total cost of 4 mana, you get to create a 2/2 white spirit creature token with flying. So technically it does create for us a nice little spirit, so it's a great little tempo play for us. Does trigger off with Mausoleum Wanderer as well, so it's actually pretty good overall for value at any point in the game. Excuse me. If we need to reset our spirits at any time, we're also going to utilize here Essence Flux. So you can exile a creature we control, then bring it back to the card to the battlefield under our control. And it's, of course, the spirit, like all of our spirits here, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So this is a nice way to kind of either just mess with our opponent's attack pattern. We can then just kind of buff up one of our creatures, or then trigger off any one of our own abilities, again, at instant speed. To support our game plan and make sure we can keep drawing cards into the action we want, we have Curious Obsession here. It's an enchantment aura, and it just simply reads, we enchant a creature. The enchanted creature will get +1/+1, and it says whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, we may draw a card. At the beginning of our end step, however, if we didn't attack with a creature this turn, you have to sacrifice the aura. So as long as we're attacking with Curious Obsession out, we mostly can just slowly start building up more and more cards that'll hopefully then draw into more action that we can use against our opponent. Now, the spirits that we're going to be utilizing here in the 2-drop slot, we have Rattle Chains and Supreme Phantom here. Both are excellent choices for the deck. Supreme Phantom, just a simple 2-drop lord that just reads other spirits we control, get +1/+1. It's a 1/3 itself, so pretty good blocker, and again, we'll get much more stronger as the game progresses. To protect our game plan, we're going to be utilizing here Rattle Chains, so a 2-mana 2/1 spirit with flash, and it has flying as well. When this creature enters, target spirit gains hexproof until end of turn. And the best part is you may cast spirit spells as though they have flash. This is an amazing, really, really awesome card for us, and it really does really pump up our game plan to make it much more of a tempo swing against our opponent. We also have a single copy of Bayeen Veil here. May look a little funky, but again, hear me out for a second here. We do have some moments where we're going to have opponents try to go wide and go around our spirits. So to do that, we need to soften the blow as much as possible. You can use this as a tap land if you need to a little bit later in the game, but ideally hold on to this and use it as a 2-drop spell to give all of our opponent's creatures -2, -0 until end of turn. So again, just helping us just soften things up so that way we can just beat down our opponent. In the 3-drop side, we'll have 2 more spirits here. We'll have Nebelgast Intruder and Nebelgast Herald here. For the Intruder specifically, this has also Flash and Flying, so that's great for us to kind of protect our game plan. When it enters, up to 1 target creature an opponent controls gets -2, -0 until end of turn. So again, it's kind of just softening the blow, just to make sure, again, we can either punch through with spirits, provide a much more stronger block defense against our opponent, or just whatever we need to. Maybe you can use it as a chump blocker as well. And then the Herald here, so 3 mana, also has Flash and Flying. When this creature or another spirit we control enters, tap target creature and opponent controls. So if we can just kind of out-tempo our opponent just a little bit, we can then keep tapping down their creatures, and they're going to have a very hard time getting around our spirit game plan here. But of course, that kind of rounds out the whole package there. We do have a little bit more support with Geistlight Snare here, a 2-mana counterspell, but however, it is 1 less to cast if we control a spirit, and an additional 1 less to cast if we control an enchantment. We do have only 1 enchantment in the deck, which is the Curious Obsession, so if we have this out, plus a spirit, Geistlight Snare is going to be a 1-mana counterspell, which is actually really, really strong against opponents. So that's going to be the whole game plan for you overall. As far as the mana base is concerned, again, this is a budget deck for the first half, so we're going to keep it as cheap as possible. 18 islands, and a single copy of Mystic Sanctuary. When, of course, it enters, as long as we have 3 more islands, it enters untapped, and that means we can put an instant or sorcery card from our graveyard back on top of our library. So it can help us reuse either a Geistlight Snare, reuse the Bayeen Veil, Essence Flux, Phantom Interference. You kind of get the idea there. It's mostly just going to help us again with that plan. If we do get a chance to play this in best of 3, or maybe you're a person that is just a fan of best of 3 in general, for our budget plan, we'll throw in Tormod's Crypt here, since we are going to be a budget deck, but also we want to make sure we have enough mana to actually cast our spells. Tormod's Crypt is going to be the best option for us, as we are mostly a tempo deck, so that means it's a free spell that allows us to just exile graveyards. 2 copies of Into the Floodmaw. If you actually want to bump it up to a couple extra more, you can. Just know that, again, if you're going to play this in paper, it's a little expensive for this little uncommon. But if you're playing in Arena, hey, go nuts. We have plenty of copies where you can use this to bounce away things you just have a hard time dealing with. An extra copy of Bayeen Veil here in case our opponent does like to go and get really cheeky with go wide strategies. Slip out the back here can help us just protect ourselves against any kinds of, exiling options out there, wraths and whatnot, just protecting one of our spirits, giving it back also a +1/+1 counter as it phases out. And then again, for things that we also kind of have a very hard time dealing with here, our only other option here, and also goes well with the Geistlight Snare synergy, is going to be Eaten by Piranhas. You get to flash this in and enchant a creature. The enchanted creature will lose all abilities and becomes a black skeleton with a base power and toughness of 1/1. So you basically kind of soften up whatever we need to and just make it weak enough where then it's going to be absolutely useless against our opponents. But that is the whole game plan, everybody. We haven't actually never played spirits before at all, really. Like, I've been doing this channel now for, well, actually, we're at the end of the month, we're actually going to be on 5 years consistently doing Magic the Gathering content. So that's actually pretty nice that we're going to finally jump into spirits in ranked. So let's give this a shot here. Let's play some matches now, and let's see how well the deck can do. All right, let's get this going here. All right.
It's time to
Yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay. So we got our plan here. Oh, nice. We already have the Curious Obsession in hand. Beautiful. That's actually exactly what you want. Ideally, you want to see if you can get that on turn 1. So we get Mausoleum Wanderer going first. All right, opponents. What do you got? Show me what you got. Whew. Okay. All depends on what our opponent plays here. Okay. Planes. Recruitment Officer. Okay, so they're going to be playing primarily... Okay, so it will be humans. We'll find a way to get around humans, though. That shouldn't be a problem for us. All right, opponents. What's your next human? If it is going to be Thalia, that's why we kept up mana from Phantom Interference. We'll see if that actually was a good or bad thing. While we're waiting for our opponent here, how y'all doing today, everybody? Again, how's the early part of your week going? Hopefully everybody's been having fun still. And again, I still want to get everyone's thought process on how they've been feeling about Omen Paths, and then also what's coming up for Magic the Gathering into 2026. Seems like we're getting a little bit... Okay, so they are going to try to make this work here. So we will counter this. No, opponent. No web-slinging shenanigans, or I guess it's N-web, I suppose. Okay, recruitment officer comes back. They hurt themselves. Okay, so with that, now I think it's our time to get that Curious Obsession going. Start swinging here. Down to 16. Draw a card. Okay, we got another Nebel Gas. That's good, too. If our opponent does have spot removal, Rattle Chains will protect us, and then we can start really going nuts with it. Granted, we don't need Rattle Chains for all of our spirits because they already have Flash built into them, but this is also kind of like a backup way. Especially if we need to also splash in things like Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay. Nothing yet from our opponents. Dauntless Bodyguard, okay. It protects the recruitment officer, but that's fine. There it is, the Declaration of the Stone. Okay. Sorry, opponents. Good thing we waited. Alright. Mausoleum Wanderer gets protection. Too bad, opponent. Denied. Alright. So with that, now we get our swings going. Opponents? Maybe? Okay, opponent's kind of stalling for a bit here. Okay. But yeah, again, just emphasizing, we want to start doing some more fun stuff here with deck techs and gameplay. What I mean by that is, again, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're all enjoying things like, if you're enjoying Omen Pass / Spider-Man, I mean, more power to you. But for us, realistically, I've just lost so much interest in this. There are maybe like 1 or 2 cards we might try to include in future videos for the remainder of its time. But I've also, again, I'm kind of just over it. I really am. So I don't want to deal with any spider cards anymore or anything like that. It just feels kind of very meh to me. So at this point, mostly our focal point will be just, putting together a lot of fun stuff that I have been having a chance to actually play with recently. So for those that are just curious, that is my thought process for the remainder of this time, at least until we get to the Avatar cards. That I'm actually looking forward to. Again, that's mostly me because I'm a big fan of Avatar overall, Last Airbender, and to a lesser degree, Korra. So we'll see how that goes. I hope that it should be a fun set, no matter what. Okay, so we're playing in the Mausoleum Wanderer. That pumps up the other one. Not that we need that, but also this is going to be the turn we can soften up our opponent here. Okay, so... Alright. Okay, we can get now our block in. So for that... Block recruitment. If he sacrifices it, that's fine. Ooh, opponents? Okay. So it is down. What's nice about our game plan is we mostly are a creature deck, so Thalia doesn't really hurt us all that much. So that's great for us. And let the Spirit Squad swing. We got Spirit. Yes, we do. Oh, we got Spirit opponents. Ooh, okay. Well. I didn't have to throw away that to get through us. But they're still down to 6, so that's actually pretty good overall. Let's see. When this comes down, we can tap another creature. So that means we could slow down Thalia if we need to. But we don't, because our opponent has had enough. All right. Spirits, everybody. Get our win there. All right. Not bad, right? See? Easy. And also, yeah, we haven't actually... it's been a little while since we also played a tempo deck. So, you know what? It's kind of nice on flavor for the month. And I guess I'll ask you guys maybe later on. Oh, we got another one of the Omen Path cards. I mean, this is also a card I might build around. Maybe. But I don't know. I'm still feeling very meh. But yeah, let me know in the comments, everybody. What do you want to see? We're going to try to see if we can do some more theme stuff for the remainder of the month. So, anything that's kind of like Halloween related. Skeleton deck. Maybe we want to go back to vampires. Werewolves. Let me know, everybody. Horror creatures? Or just something that's so scary that nobody wants to face it, like, I don't know, stacks or control decks, if you will. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say with that. But otherwise, let's see here. A little high on the curb here. We don't have a 1-drop. That's actually kind of awkward. But the Phantom Interference can help us out in the early game until we get to a Nebel Gas. All right. Please don't yell at me. I'm actually going to try to keep this. Maybe I can out-tempo our opponents with these counter spells. Maybe. Hold on. Depends. Deafening Silence. Ooh, okay. That might be a problem for us, but we'll see. We have creatures, so that's not too much of a problem for us because we still get stuff through regardless. What's her opponent playing? Johnny's Primate. Okay. That is a threat. Still can't believe that. Years later, a Johnny's Primate is still played by a lot of arena players, and we cannot have that get resolved. All right. Do you want the Supreme Phantom now? Oh boy. We'll pass for now. As long as we can keep off their bigger creatures later, and I'm hoping we can then flash in something, then Curious Obsession should be a lot easier to cast. Beloved Princess. It does have lifelink, though. I mean, they can't really swing into us. Okay. Oh, that's nice. We did get what we needed here. So we have our third island. Okay. Oh, they have mountains. Okay, so are they Boros lifelink? I'm not sure what their plan is. I mean, obviously they're going to play a lot of creatures. Okay. So that's what they got. So they're going to try to get a bigger Crusader here. Okay, they do swing. Okay, so I'm sorry, opponents. Soften up the Beloved Princess. Block here. And she's dead. All right. Ooh, also, okay, we got our counterspell there. That's perfect. Okay, so with that, Nubbleghast Intruder. We get the swings going. Come on, give me a land. Give me a land. Yes. You can definitely see why a lot of people are not fans of tempo decks, but hey, even on a budget, Spirits can do some work. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. All right, opponent, what else you got? That Crusader can be scary only if we have a bunch of creatures to deal with. If we don't, then it's actually not that big of a deal. All right, so in that case then, the counterspells keep coming, opponent. I'm sorry. Too bad, opponents. Swing with your cute little 1/1. Do we get greedy and put another Curious Obsession? I feel like we don't need to. At this point now, we pretty much have control of this match. Like, we keep drawing cards, we should be good to go here. Okay, in the meantime... And if it does get out of control, we can always just tap things down, so that way they can't gain any life off of us. Okay. Ooh, Virtual Loyalty. Okay. Well... That can't stick, opponents. I'm sorry. Too bad. They want us to keep swinging, they can. Which is cute. Okay, we got another Spectral Sailor. So I think at this point, Supreme Phantom to speed things up. Down to 10. Draw another card. Okay, Mausoleum Wanderer is not too shabby either. Okay. So we have a big beatdown creature. We've been able to keep control of most of their stuff. Lunarch Veteran will gain them life back, which is annoying. But that's actually not too bad. Valiant Veteran. Oh, it's soldiers. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just like a random... Well, actually, not really. I mean, because they're playing... I don't know. I can't tell what our opponent's playing. They have just a hodgepodge of things. They got life gain. They got a random soldier. Yeah. Sure, opponent. I guess this is just whatever they have in their collection, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, let's get our sailors in. Start getting a much more stronger beatdown option here. Okay, so we did also get another Curious Obsession, so that's actually great for us. Put it on the Supreme Phantom. There we go. Swing it away. Down to 1, opponents. Let's draw some cards. Draw, draw, draw. 2 lands off the top there. And, ooh, okay, I think we'll put in Mausoleum Wanderer now. I'll pass. Okay, so our opponent either needs to blow away the board or Voice of the Blessed, okay. Do we want that to stick? I mean, that actually is not bad. I mean, they'll gain life, which is annoying. But we have more than enough creatures in the air to beat our opponent down. I just want to make sure they tap out. Opponents, last card. Case the Gateway Express. Too bad, opponents. I'm sorry. But this win is going to be ours. You are tapped out. Not too bad, everybody. See? Mono blue still got what it takes. Okay, ooh, opponent pulls it back. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. I mean, we've already got control of the game here. So, victory goes to us. No muss, no fuss. Spirit Squad! Woo! Big damage there. And the victory, once again, goes to us. All right. Spirits, everybody. All right, and we rank up too. Yay! Nice. Wow. Maybe I should have been playing Spirits more in ranked. They're not too bad. I mean, again, this deck is only, what is it, 12 rares on Arena, if you're curious. And actually, it's, what is it? I think in paper, it's only like 35 bucks. So if you want a super duper cheap Pioneer deck that can get the job done here and there, hey, why not Spirits? We got Spirit. Yes, we do. Okay, so
it's time to
let's get our next one going here. But yeah, Spirit's still pulling off some sneaky wins here and there. So I'll happily take that. Actually, now that I've been doing this, let me know in the comments, everybody. What are you playing currently in the game? Are you playing with more of the Omen Path cards? Are you playing with... Okay, our opponent is Kahiro, so that probably means they're going to be a control deck. So that means we will need to get our counter spells up ASAP. Oh, we did get at least the Guideblade Snare. That's good. Alright, beautiful. Spectral Sailor on top of it. Do an 18. We'll draw one card. Get another island. Alright, nice. And we do have at least have now one counter spell to protect ourselves. So we've got that going. Just swing. Down to 16. Draw another card. Okay, the Essence Flux will be nice for later on. Kind of gives us a little bit of a backup option there. Ghasts, we'll put those off to the side. I didn't realize until, yeah, I finished building that. I'm like, oh wait, they're both called Nebel Ghasts. Okay, just threw away land. Alright. Do we bring in another card right now, or should we just... Well, actually, no. If they're going to be what I think they are, we have to keep them mana open as much as possible. Just slowly ping away at our opponents. Down to 14. Draw another card. Alright. We should be okay for a while. We have plenty in our hand. But so does our opponent. The only thing that will stop us right now is anything that's uncounterable. Oh, the Field of Ruin doesn't even hurt us. Ah, this is good. Just slowly annoying the heck out of our opponent. That's what we're trying to do here, buddy. You know what? Let's get the second Spectral Sailor. Anything, opponents? Nothing yet. Okay. We're just trying to speed up the clock a little bit more here. Just a little bit. Opponents? Anything? Ooh, the Wandering Emperor. So, with that, denied. Too bad, opponents. Denied. Okay, down to 11. And they're tapped out, so we got a little bit of time to go. Let's see. I guess Mausoleum Wanderer might be helpful. Let's put in Mausoleum Wanderer for now. Just one. So we at least now have a way of protecting ourselves with Rattle Chains, which can pump up Mausoleum Wanderer, give it protection. We could flash in something else. Okay. Okay, there it was. Okay. So... Can't do anything about that, but that's okay. So our whole board gets blown up. They actually did have the Supreme Verdict. Annoying, but it's, again, not the worst. Okay, so in that case, then, I guess we'll bring in Nebelgas Intruder. We can't do anything with it yet, but we do at least have another Curious Obsession. So the clock is still taking opponents. Down to 8. Draw another card. Okay, Supreme Phantom will be nice for later. So, okay, so far so good. We've been able to keep pace with our opponent here pretty well. They haven't had a chance to get their game plan going because we've been able to just have no problem just smashing through. We have plenty of cards, but I'm still waiting for our opponent to do some tap out shenanigans. Okay, opponents. Okay, that's the Donjo. Okay, so in this case now, Rattle Chains is now what we need to get to. Do you have another counterspell, opponents? Oh man, Geistlight Snare is so perfect for this whole deck. Opponents? 3 mana open. 3 steps ahead. Oh. Too bad. I will beat the Counterspell War this time. Yes. All right, down to 5. We beat down Azorius Artifacts, everybody. Actually, not Azorius Artifacts. Azorius Control. I mean, you get the idea what I'm trying to say. But okay. So far, so good. Even if our opponent tries to blow away the board again, we do have a couple of more options here. Ooh, farewell. So they did have another thing. Okay. Wait, hold on. Ah! Yes! Victory there. Bringing the Supreme Venom because we can. And once again, the Spirit Squad gets another sneaky win, everybody. Yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful one. Okay. Note to self, add that to the highlights for a future YouTube clip. We got to get that one in. That was a beautiful one, by the way. That was really good. I'm honestly kind of blown away here. Spirits are is everybody sleeping on spirits, or was it just because everyone's right now obsessed with playing Rakdos mid-range? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me how y'all feel, everybody. But I'm not going to lie. I got to make sure I don't get on my high horse too quickly here, because every time we get on a win streak, what ends up happening is then Arena starts throwing us against bad games. What I mean by that is we've had many times where we've had a nice win streak going, and then we end up starting to lose everything because we get faced off against opponents that either outdraw us or we just never draw into our action. Seen it many times with us before. Many times. But until then... Alright, so we'll get in our island. See what our opponent's got. That's a very interesting, back and say, oh, they're also playing spirits. Huh, okay, well. So this is kind of what I was talking about. They're probably obviously playing the non-budget version. We'll try to find a way around it, but I don't know if we can, because... Well, mostly just because, again, our deck is cheaper than theirs. And I don't know if that's actually going to hurt us or help us. Most likely it's going to hurt us. But this might end up being a loss here. Not that I'm saying we're gonna lose, but of course they're going to be playing the real deal. Okay, yep. Opponent is playing the non-budget version. Ugh. Don't worry though, everybody. We will get to, of course, the non-budget version of our, or at least our interpretation of spirits later on. But until then... Okay. Start pumping ourselves up here a little bit. Down to 12. We do right now have the aggro advantage, though, so that is nice. Their Mausoleum Wanderer is going to need a lot more to get through us. Okay, block here. Anything else about it? Rattle chains, okay. Okay. I mean, that doesn't... Here's how we do this. Do they count? I mean, if they counterspell, that's awkward because then they can't really keep anything. Okay. But that's also the reason why we have Essence Flux. So for that. Okay, we got the Geist Light Snare. That's great too. So. Just keep the aggro plan going. We have to put pressure on our opponent here as much as possible. Down to 4. Okay. If we only just had at least one aura on our stuff, we actually would be good. But this, at least with our opponent here, they're giving you at least a little bit of an idea as to what we're expecting here with spirits. Wait, do we Geist Light Snare this? We can. Actually, we'll let it go. Mockingbird is scary, but they have to swing with something, otherwise they will lose their auras. One of the downsides, of course, of playing with Curious Obsession. Great card, by the way, but you have to be aggro with it. Okay. Rattle Chains? Or does their opponent have a counterspell? I guess it will protect itself, just in case. No blocks. I'll let them take their cards. We just wanted to actually You want to keep as many creatures out. So, anything else, opponents? Oh, okay. We got the Curious Obsession ourselves. So, all right. Let's put it on top of that. They have 2 mana open. There we go. And I think we are good to go here. Big swing. Rattle Chains. Well, too bad, opponent. We will actually play this. Do they sacrifice the Mausoleum Wanderer? They do. I mean, that does kill one of their creatures, so that's a small price to pay. Okay, opponents. They still have to block, though. All right, nice. And there we go, everybody. Victory, once again, goes to us. All right. Hey, we're on a win streak right now with Spirits, everybody. Feeling good, feeling good. Oh, we got a Mr. Ice Vision on YouTube here. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Why is the screen so tiny? Well, that's also kind of the problem with, I realize, playing Magic the Gathering Arena on a PC. So the issue that you're asking right now is something that I don't know really what's the best solution for this. I'm only saying this because I would love for the gameplay space to be bigger, but the issue, of course, is I'm trying to cram in here, of course. You see me at the bottom there. I'm guessing, of course, you're watching vertically. You're seeing the chat on the top, and I want to make sure there's enough room for the chat if you guys want to see that. But I suppose I could shrink the chat on the vertical one a little bit more. And that means that because this game is played always in landscape mode, there's not much I could really do to kind of make that adjustment. I suppose I could try to do it where I've experimented before with trying to make the gameplay the other way. But I've learned that a lot of people don't like to flip their screens anymore. I don't know why. That is a good question, though. So, yeah. I mean, and I guess no one's really mentioned this to me. But let me know in the comments, everybody. And I guess that I would ask that to others. Would you rather I adjust the vertical output stream to make it actually flip for portrait style, i.e. horizontal? That means that you won't be able to see the chat at all if other people are especially chatting from other locations. And would you rather have that and put me in a very tiny little corner, kind of like how I do for the desktop version? But to be fair, I do it this way also, Ice Vision, because, I mean, technically I'm also dual streaming right now. So what you don't see right now is there's 2 different versions of the stream going at the same time. So you can choose to watch it vertical, or you can choose to watch it horizontal at a different point. Okay, our opponent here is making us throw something. I guess we'll throw away the Essence Flux. Spectral Sailor. So this might be one of those games also where we might... Oh, okay, never mind. We actually did get the Curious Obsession. That's good. This can help us refuel quickly. Okay, down to 18. Draw another card. I still appreciate you being here, though. Alright, so... play... I guess we'll play the Mausoleum Wanderer now. So it's going to give us a bit of protection. Mystic Sanctuary will be nice if we can only get to just one more island. In the future, though, I might adjust my settings vertically, at least for different games. If we, of course, play something else. I do see also on, what's that there, Instagram also, the Monka Studios joining us over there. Thanks again for joining us today, my fire friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. But yeah, I just don't know how I can actually fix the issue that I would like to have resolved. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's the... I guess I would have to watch it. Is there anybody else that plays... or at least watches other content creators? Do they do a different layout for their vertical setup for Magic the Gathering? I'm not sure. Loops. Also joining us over there on YouTube. Thanks again for joining us today, my fire friend. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. I think dual streaming is smart, but YouTube recommended me the mobile version when I'm on desktop is very silly. Oh, they do that? See, I didn't know that. I only started dual streaming because I had someone suggest to me, like, hey, why not try that? It gives viewers the option of watching you either way. Okay, down to 15. No value off of the Mystic Sanctuary, but that's a small price to pay. It's okay. But yeah, I thought, like, yeah, dual streaming actually could help solve the problem of people that like to watch me on mobile, so that way they can see the chat while also watching the gameplay. Or I guess I maybe should shrink myself down maybe a little bit more and maybe slightly increase the game space. I don't know. Okay, I get it. I do love a good Spirits deck. I play a similar deck on Arena. Do you have a deck list? I do, by the way. The awkward part right now is because right now I have like several things I'm trying to like coordinate with myself. I didn't get a chance to put it up just yet for the chat and the details and everything, but don't worry. And bare minimum, at the end of the of this stream, we will get, of course, the I'll put up in the details like I usually do. Even if anybody watches this, like for example on the replay later on, the details will have the full deck list, and of course we'll also be playing an upgraded version a little bit later on. Loops. Yeah, I saw your stream on my sidebar, but then I clicked and it was the mobile stream. Once I heard you say that there was the second stream, I moved over. Okay, well that works out for you. Yeah, just, I don't know. I'm still trying to do my best here to try to, you know, be as accommodating as I can for as many viewers out there, which I appreciate there's others of you that are checking me out across different platforms, which is nice. It's just so, it's so exhausting to try to figure out, like, you know, what's the best. Like some places, okay, our opponent's just going to be completely discarding everything we got. Okay, well, it's gonna be frustrating, but that's okay. Okay, Rattle Chains isn't bad. Okay, that works out for us. Okay, down to 10. Our opponent did have to pay a lot, though, to get through a lot of stuff. And at least we have some protection with Rattle Chains. But okay. Okay. But yeah. Again, I'll leave that question out there for everybody. Have you all... Is everybody completely over at this point, Open Paths? Or I guess I should say also Spider-Man? Whatever you want to call it. It's just, yeah. I've decided I'm just going to flip for the remainder of the month to kind of do like pseudo Halloween-style spooky decks. And we actually haven't played Spirits at all. So I'm actually happy with Spirits. I'm surprised why I slept on it for so long. I've never actually played a Spirits deck on stream or actually even a deck. Okay, our opponent here just is going to try everything they can to stop us. Joy. Okay, so at the very least, I'm going to protect the Rattle Chains itself, just to make sure we still have that. Okay, opponent's going to go to level 2. So we are going to get pinged here. That's a small price to pay. Going to a 7 opponent. All right, not too bad so far. We're getting there. Scarier Reach Sanitarium. 2 cards left. Is it more discard? Okay, it is... Kind of. Okay, so what are they gonna do?
When I win,
what do they take down?
You're telling me what you know.
Or do they take up and just kill one of our creatures? Is it the Mausoleum Wanderer or the Rattle Chains? I mean, we still technically... Okay, so it is Rattle Chains. Okay. So, Joy. I mean, these both have Flash, so that's not gonna be too bad.
Humility is for the weak.
Nebelgast. No real value. Mostly it's just there to just give us a little bit more strength. Okay, got another Nebelgast, so I guess that's fine. Down to 4. Whew, okay, hanging in there as best as we can. Our opponent can keep ticking us down and keep killing our spirits, but... Okay, we're so close, though. So close. Oh, I see somebody else that also joined us over on there on Instagram there. Matt, Mark, Fine Art, thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, opponents.
All in a day's work.
Okay, anything else, opponents? 2 cards in hand. Okay, Liliana the Veil. Okay, so our opponent is just going to go all in on just trying to take down our stuff here. Oh, they ticked up. So I guess we'll throw away the Intruder. They make a zombie, but that doesn't really help out them. Okay. Tap that. Okay. Ooh, we're so close. So close right here. We just go swing, swing. Down to 1. Okay, so at this point, we got to save our Spectral Sailor. No matter what they do, as long as we can get 1 point in, we can still get the victory off of this. Loops. I'm just returning to MTG, so I've been enjoying dabbling in Standard, but for the Limited, I'm exclusively playing Final Fantasy. A lot of people have been loving Final Fantasy. Big Final Fantasy fan, and the set itself is well designed for Limited. I hear a lot of good things. Some people mostly have been saying it has been so far the best Limited environment, at least this year. So I hear a lot of good things. Yeah, of course, our opponent's going to forcefully sacrifice. That's fine.
I've always hated crowds.
Okay, opponents. Go ahead, swing. You've got nothing left in hand. I have one Spectral Sailor. We're about to then close this game out here and now. Ooh, okay. So they can draw another card, but they can't do anything now. So here it comes. Our one lowly Spectral Sailor. And there you go, everybody. Our opponent has had enough. Victory once again goes to us. All right. We haven't actually been on a win streak. I think this is our, what is it now, fifth win in a row? All right. Spirits, everybody. Who would have thought? Feeling pretty good about that. Well, that's actually good, Loops, that you're coming back to the game. That's great to hear. But yeah. I remember when I did the streams earlier this year for Final Fantasy, we did get a lot of good stuff out of that set. There's actually quite a few cards that I've still been meaning to build decks around, so maybe this might be the month that we're probably going to try to catch up on that. Only just because, again, I'm not trying to be a complainer too much, but I really just have lost a lot of interest from Omen Paths. Omen Paths Spider-Man, I really tried hard to see if we can build some stuff, but it just wasn't working for me. And I can understand looking at from what was mentioned later on, it seems like Omen Path / Spider-Man was not meant to be a full set, but because of whatever contractual stuff that I guess Wizard / Hasbro had to do with Marvel / Disney, meant that it got messy. And that's also the reason why it probably ended up being a little poo-poo to me. But I'm glad that Final Fantasy worked out really well. Great art on the cards. All the full art alternate Japanese styles are amazing. It's really what fans love. And I know some people may have disagreed with me over this before. I do stand firm. At least, if anything else, Final Fantasy at least feels like it fits Magic the Gathering. It has fantasy elements. It has a lot of unique gameplay styles that do fit pretty well into the game. So that's a set that's the reason why that actually is beloved. I mean, seriously, I actually do want to get more packs of Final Fantasy. They're just so expensive, and they're really hard to find right now. Meanwhile, I've found Spider-Man packs out there back in the wild. Some of the prices have dropped a bit, which sounds enticing, but there's just really no cards in that set I have an interest in. Like, there's nothing even I want to add to my paper decks. There's nothing I want to even add to my commander decks. It's just, yeah. But hopefully, the Avatar set coming up will be a good one. I have high hopes about that one. But what are your thoughts, everybody? Is anybody else a fan of any of the other Universes Beyond stuff? Meanwhile, our opponent is taking their sweet, sweet time here. Maybe they're getting food, or I don't know, maybe they have to run to the restroom. Opponent, where you at? Hello? Hello? Opponents? Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I might as well get some water while I'm waiting for our opponent here. Oh, Mr. Eyes Vision. The Spider set after Final Fantasy and Edge of Returns was so disappointing since the last two sets were so great. Yeah, I agree. I know I've ranted about this, and I think I might actually do a YouTube video addressing it just a little bit. There have been some things back and forth. I know some people out there, especially some of the bigger content creators than me, who have had a lot of fun with Spider-Man, but it just wasn't working out for me. For me, and you could tell, like, it felt like a very rushed set. Mostly just because, again, the flavor doesn't really feel like it fits very well into Magic. It didn't integrate very well. The set pieces, yes, I know some people are like, well, Infernoman, Spider-Man is a comic, and it does actually have some fantasy elements. You're not wrong. I mean, I don't read that many comics. I'm aware of the lore of Spider-Man. I know a decent amount of him, not a ton, by the way, but enough to at least understand the world and the world of superheroes. Yes, there are some fantasy elements, but again, New York as the backdrop doesn't really hit as well as, you know, Ravnica. Or it doesn't even hit well as, like, you know, like Tarkir. You get what I'm saying. That really just doesn't feel like it fits. It's so out of place. And it's just how I'm just going to feel. But again, if there are other players out there that like Spider-Man, hey, good for you. You can have all the cards. I am not interested in buying any of them. More for you, my man. Okay, let's get the Rattle Chains going. So our opponent looks like they're playing Kahira. So that obviously means this is going to be another Azorius control deck. Okay, there's the No More Lies. Joy. Alright, so I guess at this point we might have to actually keep up. We'll have to kind of keep our mana open for counter spells and for protection. You're definitely biased. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Loops. We all have our biases. Let's be real here. I try to keep myself as fair as possible, but even I have my biases. I know that for sure. Okay, so Jace. So we're going to counterspell this. That cannot stand. Denied, opponents. Whew. Okay, so threat down for now. Alright, we're just going to have to slowly whittle away our opponent until we get some kind of answer. Loops. Yeah, it's hard for me to care about Spider-Man. I think properties like Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy led themselves to Magic as a setting more than Spider-Man. That I agree with. I mean, I know some people will kind of be like, okay, more Lord of the Rings / The Hobbit, but at least The Hobbit feels magic. But again, it's mostly because, again, the game itself did derive itself from high fantasy back in the day. So that's kind of where, I mean, it makes sense. Where's our lands, by the way? I know I've been chatting with you guys, but where are the lands? Come on, deck. I know I don't have that many. Okay, there we go. Okay. We just need at least enough to protect our game plan. So I know our opponent at this point is going to start trying to counterspell, fight our way through this. Okay. Opponents? Okay, there's the Get Lost. Okay, so... Alright, Rattle Chains. Do you have another counterspell, opponents? Okay, protect the Spectral Sailor. Okay, Get Lost is now nullified. Phew! Okay. This does mean that probably Rattle Chains is going to go bye-bye soon. Ooh, the counterspell that. Okay, interesting. Down to 13. So this probably means that they either have a Wrath or they have the Wandering Emperor. Or maybe both. Okay, nothing yet. Okay. So. Let's see. What do they have? Yep, there's the Wandering Emperor. Right on schedule. So, what do they hit? Okay, take down.
I hope you're ready to lose.
Yep. Okay, so let's see here. How do we get around this? Oh, Essence Flux. Okay, nice. Will protect itself. Phew. Okay, we got out of that. I'm also realizing my barometer is, does this property have wizards in it? Spider-Man has fantasy, but there are no wizards. Yeah. Again, and you're not wrong. It just feels very meh. Just like it didn't integrate well. And this is also my biggest concern with the upcoming Marvel superhero set. That's not to say we can't have heroes. And we definitely can have them. But it still feels very... I don't know. It's still... I'm worried it's still not going to fit very well. Or, hilariously, we're probably going to get, I don't know, maybe like Omen Paths 2026. Joy. Okay, so we got a Phantom Interference. That's not too shabby. Okay, Mausoleum Wanderer. And, okay, so the hero's going to be coming in. Mausoleum Wanderer again. We got the Wandering Emperor. Okay, so at least that Planeswalker's down. Well, we are very vulnerable right now. Now there's a Sunfall. Okay, so that means we sacrifice at least one of these. Nice. Opponent, did you not read the card? We were able to counter that. But okay. Well, actually, now we're in a decent spot. We do have a way of still getting around their instants and sorceries, though. Okay, another land. That's good. So we're slowly getting to where we want to be. Okay, Wandering Emperor again. This time, we're ready. Too bad, opponents. Ooh, we actually might be able to steal this one from our opponent. But again, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. It all depends on what our opponent plays. But man, we've been able to fight through 3 Planeswalkers, a Wrath, 2 counterspells, actually 2 Wraths. Okay. Close. Wow, Wandering Emperor number 4. Wait, hold on. Can we pay both? We can. Nice. All right. And the pump. Down to 4. But now we're vulnerable. Ooh. This is the turn, everybody. Do we win or lose? Sunfall again? Okay, sacrifice here. Wow. And I think that's it, everybody. Did we get there? Did we manage to actually beat another Azorius control deck? Ah! Yes! Victory there, everybody. Oh, yeah. Hey, we're ranking up. Slowly, but we're doing it. Wow. Spirits, everybody. I'm liking this. Maybe I should be ranking up with Spirits right now. I mean, not too bad for a budget deck. Mono blue Spirits. Only 12 rares in our version here. And again, it's only like 35, 36 bucks in paper. Hey, that's a pretty good deal actually right now, especially in this economy. Whew. If you can get a Magic deck that's halfway decent, somewhat semi-competitive for less than 50 bucks, that's a deal and a half. I mean, am I wrong? I don't know. I think I'm pretty much correct on that one. Okay. Oh, Leyliner. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, maybe this might be the end of our win streak, everybody. Our opponent here is going to be playing... Okay, they're going to try to cheese it a win here. Did they get the turn win, or the turn to win? I don't think they did, but... Okay. Monster Swiss here. Okay, so they're going to swing. Spectral Sailor. So at this point, we're going to have to do a little sacrificing. We can't afford to have that Heartfire hero go big. We're going to kill it now. Down to 17. Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay. Alright. Mausoleum Wanderer. Pass. Okay. Opponents. Emberheart Challenger. Okay. Swinging here. Alright. Our opponent's still not pumping their stuff up yet, so we do have a shot here. Essence Flux away. To block. Or at least just do a little chump blocking there. No attacks. We need to soften them up as much as possible. But that Leyland of Resonance is going to hurt us. Wow, our opponent actually doesn't have any pump spells? Okay, opponent, that's cheeky. Very cheeky of you. Okay. So, with one spell here, I know they're gonna go off. Which is gonna be a little scary. We're gonna soften up the Emberheart Challenger first. That is technically the strongest creature. Okay, block the Challenger. Block the Swift Spear. Alright. Turn inside out. Joy. Okay. Pumping. And pumping. And pumping. Down to 8. They get a creature out of that. Okay, so this is now kind of where the weakness to the deck pops in, if you haven't already noticed. Yeah. Toots. Well, I mean, hey, can't win them all. I mean, we can come in right now. We'll try to soften up one creature. Just one Monastery Swiss Spear can be stopped here, I suppose. Block the face down card. And let me guess, you have at least 2 pump spells. Or at least 1. Even 1 pretty much kills us here. Opponent. Felonious Rage. Yep, there it is. Okay, what else you pump, opponents? So they pump up the face down card. 2. Down to 2. They make another creature out of that. Jeez, that's so annoying. Heartfire hero, okay. And yeah, that's game. Yeah, no matter what we do, we will lose that one. Wow. I mean, that again, that mono red Leyline of Resonance deck in Pioneer is a deal. Not too often it comes up anymore, but hey, sometimes they get in a little cheesy win here and there. But that's okay, everybody. Not too bad, actually, still. We did get a pretty good win streak off of the deck as is. Like, honestly, I kind of feel like I want to just play the mono blue one a little bit longer. it has proven itself to be pretty decent overall. But before we do that, what if we consider a much more meta version of Spirits? So this one right here is based upon variations of the deck that I've seen across several websites I've seen. So the version right here is going to be a much more powerhouse version of Spirits, everybody. So this one here is looking to now go into white, so that way we have access to some much more stronger counter spells, some stronger spirits that'll definitely help us kind of smoothen out our game plan a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, mono blue spirits definitely was really impressive for us overall with how it performed. However, if we want a little bit more resilience, a little bit more to help out the deck, let's see what we can do with this version here. So this version is going to be going with white, so we'll add in copies of Seam Rip now. So this is going to be our enchantment here. When it enters, exile a non-land permanent an opponent controls with a mana value of 2 or less until the enchantment leaves the battlefield. So good for us for the early game to get some things out of the way. Obviously keep the Mausoleum Wanderers, but adding in Seam Rips, we're going to trim down our Spectral Sailors down to 2. In the 2-drop slot, we'll add in Sheltered by Ghosts. So this is arguably one of our best spot removal cards out there. And of course, being Sheltered by Ghosts, it is on flavor for a Spirits deck, if you will. So that's kind of cute. We'll, of course, keep all the Rattle Chains, keep all your Supreme Phantoms. These are your best options for you to make sure your Spirits are pumped up. We're going to add in copies of No More Lies now. So this is a stronger counterspell. Technically, you can still use Light Snare, but the inconsistency sometimes with the spell's cost may make it a little funky. So that's why we're throwing in Normalize as a much more consistent counterspell against our opponents. Not to mention, again, if we do counter the spell, it is exiled. So that means no graveyard shenanigans for our opponents. Once we can get in our Rattle Chains here, that means we could take advantage of cards like Skyclave Apparition at instant speed. So Skyclave Apparition, again, normally I hate dealing with this card, but in our deck, it is perfect for our game plan, allowing us to exile a non-land, non-token permanent we don't control with a mana value of 4 or less until this creature leaves the battlefield. It will leave behind an illusion, but again, small price to pay in order to get something big out of the way. As I just mentioned earlier, we'll keep 2 copies of Light Snare because, again, we do have quite a few enchantments in the deck, so technically we could still utilize this as kind of like a backup counterspell to No More Lies. Speaking of messing with our opponent, we're also going to utilize Spell Queller here, a classic card for us. I can't believe I'm actually saying classic for a card that came out from, what is it, Shadows over Innistrad? Wait, how long ago was that already? What now, 8, 9? Oh god, is it 10 years ago? Was this card? Good lord, that's actually technically kind of old now. But any case, rambling about my age aside, Spell Queller is still an amazing card here. This is Zorius Spirit here, 3 mana, 2/3, flash and flying. So actually we don't need always the benefits of Rattle Chains, but it still does great on its own. When the creature enters, you exile a spell with a mana value of 4 or less. Again, I emphasize that is a spell, so it doesn't have to be any specific kind of creature or instant or sorcery. Literally anything that's 4 or less, you can get rid of it. When this creature leaves the battlefield, then our owner, the owner of the card, can exile the card. The exile card's owner can cast the card without paying their mana cost. So keep that in mind. You can do some funky tricks with this if you're really good with adjusting your game plan. So in theory, Spell Queller technically can also do your own stuff as well. There's going to be some weird cases where you might want to do that. It kind of just depends on what your opponent's trying to play with. So just be aware of that. But the big reason for this deck that we want this again is it will deal with uncounterable counterspells and wraths, which is great for us. For the 4-drop slot, now we're actually going to add in some 4-drop cards. We have Enduring Curiosity, so it's an enchantment creature. It's a Cat Glimmer, so it's not a spirit, but it still helps us out because it has its own flash ability. You flash it in. When a creature deals combat damage to us, we get to draw a card. If you haven't already noticed, we did get rid of our Curious Obsession, so this is technically a much more consistent way of adding in card draw to the deck once we start running out. If it ends up dying, of course, the Enduring Curiosity returns as simply just an enchantment, so great for us and good synergy for the deck. And finally, we will only have 1 copy of it in the main deck, but it still is a great card for us regardless. The Wandering Emperor, now she is recruited to our side, and she of course does some great stuff. She does flash herself in, and of course that means you can use her her loyalty abilities as you need to at any given moment, at least for just that instant. And then after that, then same rules normally apply. Timing restrictions apply for typical Planeswalkers. As far as now upgrading the mana base here, we'll utilize now a much more stronger base of using a Gonjo here and Otawara are now going to be added in since we're in both white and black. I'm sorry, white and blue. I don't know why I said black. Single planes we're going to drop down to with 2 islands, and we'll throw in all the dual lands we can muster up. So that means Akadar Wastes, Hallow Fountains or Shockland, the Pathway Land itself, and the Fastland Sea Chrome Coast. We'll throw in 3 copies of Mutavault here, so technically we can convert these into spirits if we need to in a pinch. And then for the sideboard, I know we didn't really get a chance to play with best of 3 in our previous budget deck, but maybe we'll get a couple in this one. So based on, again, how the meta is running right now, I'm going to throw in full sets of Authority of the Consuls. This is meant to slow down a lot of those aggro decks out there and go wide strategies by giving us a bunch of life to sponge hits for a bit. An extra copy of Seam Rip here if we need to mix and match. Extra copies of Sheltered by Ghosts, again, if we need to mix and match our spot removal. Guardian of Faith is something that I threw in there myself. So this is a Spirit Knight. It has Flash and it has Vigilance. When this creature enters, any number of other target creatures we control can phase out. So this is actually an extremely powerful protection spell, especially against Farewells. So that's the reason why we threw this in. I think it's going to be probably our best protection for the deck. Cemetery Illuminator here. Not too often you use this, but this is going to be our graveyard hate for the deck. It has flying, it's a spirit, it's a 2/3. When the creature enters or attacks, you exile a card from a graveyard. At the same time also, you can maybe look at the top card of your library at any time, and once each turn, you can cast a spell from the top of your library if it shows a card type with a card exiled with this creature. So some use cases might be helpful for that, but realistically, just look at this as mostly just a creature that's graveyard hate. Extra copy of Geistlight Snare if you want to get a little bit more counterspell happy. An extra copy of Wandering Emperor. And again, if we do have instances where we do need to deal with our opponent's stuff on our own, we do have our own Supreme Verdict if we just need to wrath the board. And that is our version of Spirits upgraded. I guess technically it's more of like an Azorius Flash deck, but you get the idea here. It still does what we want it to do. We still want to flash and stuff. We want to throw off our opponent's game plan by out-tempoing them with spirits and messing with them to hopefully get to our victory. Whew! Okay. So let's see, can the upgraded version actually also continue our sweet, sweet win streak? I'm actually looking forward to this. It's actually going to be a lot of fun here. Whew! Okay. I probably... Oh, and I do remember, at some point, as we're loading up our next match here, again, for those of you who are out there that are interested, if you like any of the content we do, if you enjoy budget deck techs, please, if you haven't already done so, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are watching the content. If you want to support us on month to month, we do have now some Patreon exclusive deck techs and gameplay if you haven't seen on my YouTube channel and on the Patreon, which again, for just a little bit, you get access to these videos that are not going to be available to regular viewers out there. Or at the very least, at bare minimum, join our Discord. I will leave a link for all of these in the details once the live stream is over. Your support helps keep this channel going. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching me, whether it's live or on the replay. I appreciate all of you. Okay, now that I've kind of done my shilling for the stream, let's go ahead, let's get back into this game. Okay, so we got the Seachrome Coast, Akadar Wastes, we have plenty of counter spells, and plenty of spot removal, so we should be good to go overall for this game plan. Whew, okay. Blooming Marsh. Okay, Llanowar Elves. Okay. We'll let that go for now. I want to see what they're going to try to counterspell, or I'm say what we need to handle here. Okay. Flash in the Rattle Chains. Do they have a Fatal Push? So we'll find out here. Opponents? Oh, they have Cut Down. Joy. Alright. At the Wandering Emperor. Alright. Okay, so in that case... We didn't get our land drop. That's awkward. That's okay. Opponents? If we at least get one more land, at least we could Skyclave whatever they drop down. Even if it's something like a Shieldred. Creature the Schism. Okay, so for that, for sure. That can't stick. That's gotta go. Okay. Opponents? Swinging. Down to 18. Another Rattle Chains. So if our opponent doesn't play anything major, maybe we can bring down the Rattle Chains and try to start our tempo plan. I suppose it depends on what our opponent plays here, too. We still have another counter spell. Oh, Glissa. That can't stick. So... More Lies again. Take a little damage, though. Small price to pay, though, to get rid of that. That's a threat we have a hard time dealing with, by the way. Opponent swinging again. Where's our lands, by the way? I need to get to those lands. Spell Queller will be nice later on, but we really do need to get to a third land drop. Oh, man. I mean, we put it into this deck now, what is it, 24 lands? We should have no problem getting to our lands. Come on, deck. Show me some love. I don't want to be beaten down by a simple Llanowar Elves. That would be really embarrassing. 3 cards in hand, though. We have whittled them down, so that is decent, at least. Okay. Opponents. Yoo-hoo! Hello! Opponents. Okay. Mutavault's not bad. Okay, so... We're going to wait again. If we get to a 4th land drop, then we can rattle chains back and forth. Also, I just want to make sure we can slow down our opponent here a ton. Oh, there it is, the Ritual Chamber. Okay, so in that case then, they make the Demon. We can't Spell Queller that because that's a 5. Okay. I forgot how the mana cost is for something like this. Opponents, anything else? If they do swing with the Demon, though, Wandering Emperor, Skyclaver also going to be decent for us. Pass here. Let's get those rattle chains in now. Okay. Oh, great. We got the Seachrome Coast. That's good. But it is a little... Yeah. Still a little iffy here. We have to deal with that Demon. If they swing, we still have to wait a turn until Wandering Emperor becomes valid. Okay. Still tricky here. Cut down. Okay. So... Makes a 3. Okay. No, it doesn't. Okay, we'll rattle chains a second time. Protection. Okay. Cut down has been cut down. But we are on a clock, though. Okay, so they do turn it on. So that means now for sure we have to get rid of that Demon quick. Loops, I see your channel, you make a lot of videos about different decks. I would like to do the same, but affording so many decks is very expensive. How do you acquire so many? Good question on that one. So, I didn't mention this earlier, but we're actually approaching the 5-year mark for us making videos. This channel that I have been using has actually been around since... good lord. This shows you also how old I am. I actually got this YouTube channel when YouTube was brand new. We're talking like way even before it was acquired by Google. It's that old. So I didn't really play with the channel all that much. It was mostly just me making up goofy stuff. But until I got to a point where, we were stuck at, when we were stuck all at home during the year of, 2020. During that time, I realized, you know what? In case if I don't make it back to my regular line of work, I suppose I probably should work on some kind of, thing that I wanted to do. So I realized, you know what? Hey, why not we do a YouTube channel?
Finally, I'm home.
And that's kind of where we're at now. Okay, Demon down. That does mean that our Wandering Emperor will die. But that's a small price to pay to make sure the Demon is off the field. But yeah, I've honestly just been playing... I've just been playing for years on Arena here, so I've been taking the time to actually acquire a lot of cards. So it does take time, I'm not going to lie. And it can be very time-consuming for people out there that are interested. But it is doable. I also realized the best way to get all the cards and just kind of like help out others is mostly just comes down to me just simply just focusing what I can do best, which is going to be just focusing on budget content. Okay, we got the No More Lies. That's good. Let's see. Supreme Phantom. So it gives a little pump here. Down to 19. Wow, we're still not doing too good here. Because we're still in the defensive. Even if they kill the Skyclave, the Shielder at least is dead. But yeah, being a content creator, once I made that choice, though, Loops, it mostly just came down to me just figuring out, okay, if I'm going to do this, I will know I'm going to have to make a little bit of sacrificing. So in other words, every set that comes out now, for lack of a better way, I save up as much gold as I can to open packs, but also I do buy every so often the bundles. I try to earn the gems through drafting, which also can give me more cards, but I'm not a very good drafter, and that's not honestly something I'm a big fan of. Yeah, I'm not good at drafting personally, and also I don't really care too much about it, but I do know some people love drafting. Again, that's not to say, drafting's bad, but for me, the best way I was able to do it was just save up gold like crazy, only play with decks that I want to play with, and then use that gold as a crack packs to just keep building up a small but slowly growing collection. It does take time, though. It will take a lot of time. That's only, again, if you're actually serious about wanting to do this, like how I do it. Okay, Ganjo, that's actually pretty good, too. So, let's see here. Down to 11. So now we have options. We have a Ganjo to beat down the Glissa. We have a No More Lies. Okay, so with that, ooh, Spell Queller. We got this. Opponents? They have 2 more cards in hand. Do they have any more removal? If they have removal, then Spell Queller doesn't really get a chance to do anything. Loops. It is frustrating that the rewards you can earn each day feel capped. It feels like even if I have time to invest, I really have to be diligent over the course of weeks and months. Yeah, I can understand that. And I totally get that there are a lot of players out there that would love to build super awesome, fun decks out there. But again, Arena really doesn't support you that well, at least on the free model. So I know a lot of people have mentioned, like, yeah, the game definitely feels like, even on Arena, you're not rewarded for grinding as much as you think. But that's also the reason why I do my channel in the first place, Loops. The whole reason why I started trying to do these budget decks is to help out players like maybe like you and others out there that want to build 2 strong decks, but probably should look at, starting small, like the deck that we did earlier. So we did a Spirit deck that you saw. Most of the cards that we have there are applicable to the stronger one that you see here. So this way you don't feel like you have to invest like so many rares just to get at least some kind of a half-decent deck. But that's literally why I do this. I do my streams, I do my video content as much as I can in between an actual full-time job. I know, killing myself over here, by the way. Full-time job while trying to make content is exhausting. I love what I do, but yeah, I'm honestly kind of sometimes tired every day. But I still try to make it work. I like playing the game. So that's my whole reason. I want to help out players like you that want to build cool stuff, but may have a hard time just because of how expensive it is and how time-consuming it can be to acquire all the cards. Okay, opponents. Okay, they're swinging. All right. Do we actually need to block this one? I mean, we don't really need to block this one. So, down to 3. We'll take the hit. What do they do, though? There's no enchantment from the destroy. But they destroy their own, just to make sure they don't kill themselves. It's a bold move. Mausoleum Wanderer, okay. Put that in. And now we have enough to keep a Ganjo up, so Glissa will die. So that's good for us. Actually, hold on. Hold it here. Okay, so we take that, the Sentinel. It makes a map token if it attacks. Okay, I think Ganjo dies. Okay, yeah. Down to 4. Okay, and also we can turn on Mutavault if we need to in an absolute pinch. Okay, so in that case then, our opponent has 1 card in hand. If we can block this... Oh, I forgot they can do that too. Okay, so... Okay. Is there a way out of this? Did we mess this up? They make the map token. But again, I still appreciate what you're doing, and I commend you for wanting to do what I do. But again, it is... If I had to do this all over again, I probably would look at a different game plan. I probably would focus a little bit more of my content on building more stuff that's more towards, acquiring a better collection. I do like doing budget decks, but also I do know that the market for deck techs has been kind of dwindling a little bit just because, again, there's just so many sets that keep coming out almost, what now, feels like less than 2 months each, which again, on paper, but seriously, there's so many... Like, there's going to be 7 sets coming out next year. You know exhausting how that is? Like, literally, once I'm done with today's deck, I'm already quickly having to jump to the next video So be aware of that. I'm not to say you should do it as fast as I do. Like, I'm actually kind of slow compared to some content creators. I'm doing 3 videos a week, 2 live streams, 1 deck tech regular YouTube video, and 2 YouTube shorts. Oh, actually, I should do my turn here. Hold on 1 second. So, how do we do this here? We have to block here, block here. Okay. Are we dead? The Gonjo. Take out Glissa. There's no way they can stop that, so... Okay. Ooh, they did gain a life. Okay. That is a choice, opponents. Down to 1. They do get back an illusion, so we have to kill him here. Soulstone Sanctuary. That's their last card. Do they hit the map token? That pumps up Sentinel. Okay, the cut down. We need... Okay, a Seam Rip. Does that help us out a bit? Wait, I think it does. Wait. Oh no, wait. I'm overthinking this. Just swing. I don't know what I was doing right there. I was like, wait. That's the win. That's X-axis. Sorry, my brain right there kind of just pooped out for a second, realizing, wait. I got the win. Okay, okay. We got it, everybody. We got it. Okay. Okay. But yeah, okay. So, yeah, we're still doing pretty good here. All right, we've got a Pixie. Those fairies are going to be a huge thing, I'm sure, next year once we get back to Lorwyn. So, that's don't worry. We did a fairy deck a little while ago. Actually, like 2 years ago now. But we're definitely going to jump back into fairies once we get to Lorwyn. I'm actually really excited for that one. I didn't get a chance to play Lorwyn back in its heyday years ago. And I hear it was a beloved set. I heard it was a really good one. So I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully that'll be another fun, great set for Magic coming up. But yeah, and again, to echo a little bit of what I mentioned to you, Loops, to other viewers out there, again, if for those of you that are watching on the replay or even live right now, just again, don't worry. This is, again, if you're a person that's struggling with trying to figure out, you know, what the decks you want to build that maybe you cannot afford, I do a whole series of deck techs in Pioneer, mostly because I want to make sure they are somewhat evergreen, if you will, that you can play with. Decks that don't require you to use a single rare or mythic, and we're good for beginner players out there that maybe don't want to spend resources. So you kind of play around a little bit and see, like, you know, what do you like? Oh, okay. So our opponent is okay. They're going to be dredging up stuff here. Let's see if we can get around that. Pathway land. Okay, so our opponent is going to try to bring stuff in from the graveyard for free. We've done quite a few dredge decks already. So we'll see if we can get around this. Cache grab. Ooh. Creeping chill. Ugh. Okay. Got the Otawara. That's cute. Otawara down. Supreme Phantom gets a little pump. Get rid of the blood gas so it just can't keep coming back. Down to 19. We're also at 19. We also have a Geistlight Snare, so we can slow them down a little bit. Not by much, but it should hopefully be enough. Ooh, Wither Bloom Command. All right. Well, too bad, opponents. Not today. Oh, all right. Our opponent has already had enough. Aw, opponent, we just got started. Aw. Okay. Hey, a win's a win. I'll take a win, everybody. Yeah, Spirits. We're doing pretty good. We've only lost 1 game today, and I think we've won now, what? 8? 9 games? I'll take it. Wow, this is the best run we've done since, well, what was the last stream we did? Oh yeah, we had a pretty good win streak with one of our other live streams. I think it was the Mono Blue Artifact deck. But again, we're doing pretty good. So I'm really happy with... I'm very satisfied with how this deck is turning out. I actually might keep this one in my rotation for ranking up. I don't know. I'll think about that one for a bit. But so far, so good. Either that or we've been very, very lucky with the matchups. Like, honestly, it doesn't feel like we've had many bad matchups aside from that mono-red aggro deck. But again, that's just an outlier. We will get, of course, gimmicky decks that sometimes we just cannot deal with. But so far, we've been actually pretty solid. So I would definitely say, I know it's a little preemptive because I usually like to talk about this at the end of the live stream. But we'll definitely say right now, I'm pretty satisfied with Spirits. It's been overall a pretty great experience. And I definitely would recommend this for players out there that maybe actually do want to rank up. I usually don't like to say that too early on the off chance that maybe we end up going into a losing streak. But so far, so good. Okay, so Cache grab. Okay, so they're mono green food? Or Golgari food, I guess. Okay, so in that case, do you want to cook the goose now? Actually, probably not yet. Honk honk. Edge X Spartan. Hey, hello, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today over on Twitch. How you doing? And hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, so can we get the rattle chains in for free? Or do they have removal? I mean, I'm going to take a risk here. Because I need to kind of evaluate what are they playing. If they're playing Golgari food. Okay, so we did get the rattle chains to stick. That's good. Okay, so Spell Queller on the back end here. We could swing with rattle chains because they're not going to block with the goose. Free damage. Unless our opponent has something. Maybe? Abrupt Decay. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, opponents. Spell Queller actually stops that. Tops even the uncounterable spells, everybody. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, you just recently started Magic. Well, thanks again for joining the game. It's a pretty awesome game, by the way. To the point where literally I've dedicated now 5 years of my absolute existence to trying to make YouTube videos and streams off of it. But in all seriousness, though, I know you'll love the game. What brought you into Magic, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? Was there a set that you were intrigued by? Was there some kind of cards that you thought were really cool? Do you like the artwork? Do you like the gameplay? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you about that. Okay. Hopefully the Spell Queller only got that one spot removal that our opponent may have. We also have some more No More Lies, so that's good too. We'll shock ourselves. So we did take a little damage, but that's a small price to pay. Just to make sure we have the right stuff here. Opponents? Nothing. Alright, 3 damage, down to 14. We do have 2 counter spells waiting in the wings. Well, technically, actually 3. Yeah, they eat the food, wow. Does our opponent not have anything in hand? 3 cards. Okay. Gilded Goose number 2. Or I guess that's technically number 3, because the other one's in the graveyard. Making lots of food. Nothing opponents? Okay. Well, I guess now we should probably get a little more aggressive now that we've gotten some semblance of what they're doing. Okay, so we are able to pump up our spirits. Mutavault. Beautiful. At this point, we're like on cruise control. Do you block opponent? Do you make food? Do you eat the food? What we doing? What are we doing? Okay, block. And block. Okay. That's fine. They're making more food. Oh, num 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 num. Do they sack? They do. They sack one of their goose to make more food. Well, that does remind me, though. We actually do need to make another Thanksgiving deck in a month. I know that's a month away, but I love to do... Okay, so they are milling some more. Huh. Okay, this gives us a little bit more insight into their deck. It is a lot of milling and food, but what is their... Okay, so that's their last Gilded Goose. But what are they trying to do? I'm not sure. I feel like I know what they're gonna do. Maybe. Skyclave. Flash that in. And then that means we can either get rid of... Okay, do we get rid... We'll get rid of the Witch's Oven. That means they have to sack the goose now if they want to get value off of it. Ooh, they don't. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Anything else, opponents? I mean, well, they can't really do anything else, but you get what I'm saying. Wow, we are in control of this one so well. Okay, Mausoleum Wanderer. That's cute, too. Spirit Squad. Swinging it. Any blocks, opponents? All right. I think the biggest game changer was that Spell Queller. Man, what a powerful card still. Even in 2025, Spell Queller gets the job done. Okay, so that's what they have in Igra. Well, too bad, opponents. Too bad. You are denied a victory there, and we will take it once again. Wow. Hey, we ranked up. All right. Spirits. I'm actually really liking this one. Yeah, I think I actually might keep the Spirit deck for like an actual meta deck I might want to play. So far, it fits pretty well with everything. It's not the most popular deck right now in Pioneer, because right now, what is it? Is it Phoenix is the top one, followed by, was it Rakdos midrange? We actually haven't faced off against either deck today. So I worry that if we do face off against them, we might get completely wrecked. But so far, so good on both ends, both the budget deck and the non-budget deck. Can we keep the good times rolling, though? I think that's the biggest question. We'll find out in the last quarter of this stream, which I do want to remind everybody, I do like to stream, but of course, because I do a full-time job beyond this little fireball, we'll stick around for a bit. We'll be here for a little bit longer, everybody, probably about another 30 minutes tops, and then, of course, I have to get ready for my big boy job. But again, I do appreciate all of you providing support today by watching me. But yeah, if you guys want to, I will put out a poll on YouTube coming up soon about... We're going to see if we can start pushing for more unique content that helps out those of you that really want to be big on this channel. What I mean by that is, if you actually do want to be a true fiery friend, and again, we're going to start putting out some more membership stuff just to start enticing some of y'all, because, hey, who doesn't want to get paid to do some live streams? I mean, I know some people are probably like, oh, geez. But again, you don't have to do any of that stuff for me. I still appreciate you guys just hanging out with me just the same. But I will put out a poll if you're interested in different content, I would say. Like, if you actually want to be... Like, if you want to hang out with me for other games. So I'll ask that again in the coming days. Put out a poll for that one. All right, no more lies. So I think our strategy right now is, if we can get to the Enduring Curiosity now, if that can come down, then I think we might have a shot here. Or we could do Rattle Chains and No More Lies too. I think we have options here. Okay. I think this might be the turn. Let's Rattle Chains now. Does our opponent counterspell? Okay. Opponents? I know they have removal. They have to have removal. Okay, there's the Fatal Push. No More Lies. Do you pay all of it? Pay the 3? Yes. If they pay all the 3, which I'm not surprised if they do, that is very expensive. Ooh, they let it go. Okay. So Rattle Chains is now in. Okay, so that means we can now start rallying back. At least, I hope we can rally back. Down to 16. Edge Spartan. There's a Magic tournament I'm going to tonight. Well, good luck with that. Are you participating? What deck are you playing with? And what style of format? Are they playing Standard? Are they playing... Are they playing Pioneer? Modern? Oh, it's a Commander tournament. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm not that deep into the competitive Commander scene, but that's cool. Hopefully that works out for you. Best of luck, by the way. But what are you playing with then? Okay, we were able to draw a card here. Okay, so it's another Skyclave, so that'll be good for later. We have a lot of good spot removal if we can just keep doing damage. I don't know what our opponent's doing, but it looks like they're playing a Demeter control deck, which looks very annoying, by the way. But we do have a way of getting around stuff here. Thoughtseize. Okay, so they can see that we have tons of disruption in our hand. They throw away the Spell Queller, probably their best option. Opponent gave up? They didn't want to play? I mean, yay! All right. We're still getting wins, everybody. Even if our opponent just doesn't want to deal with our game plan there. I guess they just were like, I don't want to deal with any, tempo nonsense. So, hey, I'll take it. Wow, we actually almost finished all of our dailies today. I will also remind everybody, again, if you're a newer player and if you're playing on Arena, friendly reminder for you guys, bare minimum, try to at least get 4 wins every day to get the bare minimum of 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold equals 1 booster pack in Arena. Or at the very least, save up your gold. If you save up your gold and do 4 wins a day, by the end of the week, you have enough to do 1 draft, which for some people out there that do like drafting, that could be your best way to also build a collection and also build a ton of wild cards. So again, you do have options there. Oh, you have a mouse deck. Okay, well that's cute. Who's the trying to remember, like, what is the mouse commander? I'm trying to remember. Is it a Mabel? Is the deck a Mabel deck? Curious, by the way. Is it Mabel Heir to the Cragflame from Bloomborough? I believe that's the one. I think that's the... Yes, it is Mabel. Okay. Cool. Nice. Well, again, well, best of luck to you on that one. I hope it works out well for you. Mabel is a cute card, though. I almost put together a Mabel commander deck myself, but then the Final Fantasy set came out, and now I have to build around another card. So I went with a Knights deck, but it's kind of the same concept as what Mabel would have. Make some equipment, start getting some stronger stuff in to beat down your opponents. Down to 14, by the way. Okay, opponent's playing Inti. So is it discard? But they're also playing Plaza here. Okay, so it's a... I see what they're trying to do here. Our opponent is trying to play a Legends deck. But we can definitely deal with that. We spell Quelled away. Halia here. By the way, Halia, great card. I'd probably... Oh, okay, our opponent has already had enough. We've been messing with our opponents, like, all day today. All right. Victory once again. Nobody wants to fight us with spirits anymore. I think everybody has had enough of our tempo shenanigans, but I love it. Oh man, this has been so far one of the best ones this is one of our best runs we've had, I think, all year. Note to self, I definitely gotta add this to the highlights for the best for the end of the year. I try to do that highlight reel near the end of the year. Okay. So, real quick, Edge Spartan, since you have Mabel as your commander, so just to clarify, is this more of like a casual tournament, or are we talking like actual competitive Magic, like actual competitor, like CDH? Like, I'm just curious about just the context of it. I do apologize because, again, I don't have too much of a context or experience in competitive Commander. So it's still kind of casual? Okay, so it's kind of like a tournament playing Commander, but everyone still kind of keeps it casual. That's cute, by the way. Note to self, at some point I really do need to try to I myself personally really should try to get out there and try to do paper stuff again. It's been so long, but it's been kind of hard for me, especially with what I do. So Arena kind of does make it easier for me to actually get out there and play the game. But literally, I'm looking at my shelf right now. I have like 5 Commander decks I've completed. I'm actually going to counter this, by the way. So, does our opponent do it? If they don't, that means at least they don't get the scry. I mean, if our spirit's going to die, might as well just mess with our opponent here. Do you pay it on it? Okay, they don't. Okay, so at least they don't get the scry. So that helps us out a bit. Thomas McCurry, hey all. Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Thanks again for joining us today, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You're just in the middle of us getting on a nice win streak here with spirits. Just in time for the Halloween season, by the way. Okay. Opponent gets an etching of Kumamo. So I honestly think if mono red aggro can get underneath that, that's mostly going to be the #1 matchup we also will struggle a bit with. Okay, slick shot. That means no more lights has to go. Okay, biggest threat is down. We have time to build with against their etching. Boldly. Okay, that's fine. Okay, down to 13. Skyclave. That's cute. So I think... Well, this is kind of awkward. Pathway land is there. But... Whatever their last card is... We'll wait it out. I want to see what those last 2 cards are. If their spells... If they sling... Okay. Do they pump? Come on, opponents. It has to be a pump soul, right? Thomas Fury. I'm okay and plan on making a bracket for Turgid deck in Commander. Oh, that is absolutely evil, by the way. Maybe we might try to do something like that. We've played Turgid in the past, but not in a Commander deck. Maybe that might throw that onto the list of things to build this month. We have actually quite a list of things that I've been wanting to do. It actually sounds like a really fun one. Perfect for the Halloween season. What is more scarier than getting your whole deck thrown against you? Oh, they had a lightning flex. Okay, that's what they had. Okay. So we got a Spectral Sailor. But at least now we can flash and stuff with our deck. So we're going to pass here. We just need more mana. At least one blue source and we're good to go. Okay, Monastery Swiftspear. Okay, so in that case then... Do I let that go? Actually, Spell Queller already. So at least this way we can block for a smidge. Okay. So if I was to guess with your Turgid plan, Thomas, are you looking at mostly just messing with your opponent, just literally forcing them to discard everything, and then you basically just steal all their cards for free? If so, that is absolutely evil, by the way, but I love to hear it. Okay, so in that case, still no attacks. We need to just get rid of the threats, and at that point, then we can start building up, or get the Enduring Curiosity to help us to draw cards. One or the other. But we do need a blue source. Another one would help us out a ton, but until then, our mana base right now, of all the lands, having path level lands is kind of awkward. Okay, opponent, swing. They do. Okay. So in that case, we'll block one here, and we'll let the other one go. Opponent, what do? You have one card in hand. It has to be a pump spell. Why else would you swing? Oh. 4. Opponents? Boros. Oh, they had the Boro Charm. Okay, that's what they had. Wait, is there a way out of this? Wait, there's no way out of this, is there? Toots. Well, I mean, even if I played the Mausoleum Wanderer right now, that's not enough. Okay, that's not enough. All right, opponent got us. Wow, they got us with the Boros Charm. I guess I should have blocked there. All right, well, I feel foolish, but hey, it's all good. That's actually only our second loss today out of 10, I think 10 or 11 wins. I'm happy with that. That's not a big deal for us. Edge Spartan, thought about making a flying deck. Well, I mean, I'm again not trying to shill too much here, but if I go through our channel, we do have a lot on YouTube of options for you. I actually put together a super budget, like as budget as can be, like a mono blue flyers deck using a very simple commander, and it is all flying, and I believe the deck is only like $30. No rares or mythics needed on Arena. So if you actually are curious about that, you should check that one out. We built that one a little while ago for budget and beginner players. And that also goes for everybody out there too. If you're a person that's struggling to figure out, what to build, or maybe you don't want to spend a ton of rares or mythics, we do have an entire playlist of decks you can put together for the Pioneer format, and we're building them for Brawl/Commander. So again, no rares, no mythics needed, and they're going to be as cheap as possible. We're talking like less than, anywhere averaging between $20 to $40 if you're going to put it together in paper. They're all great decks, a lot of variety, and yes, if you're curious, I have built one of every color combination, at least in Pioneer. So that means 5 monocolor decks, even one colorless deck. We've pulled together all 10 dual colors, all 10 3-color decks, 5 4-color decks, and 1 5-color deck. I don't even know how I did that. But it took like over a year and some, like about a year and a half to do the whole thing. So the whole set is there for you guys. If anybody else is curious out there, check them out. We might have to do some small tweaks to update them, because I know Magic now moves faster than ever. But it's just, if you're curious, they are out there. They are definitely out there for y'all. How do you find them? Well, if you go onto my YouTube channel, I think the link should be, of course, on the main part of my Twitch page. It should be there a link for the YouTube channel. Check them out. I do have the entire playlist up and available for anybody that's interested. I can assure you, there's actually plenty of stuff you can check out on there. And thanks again for the follow, Edge Spartan. We appreciate you joining us again as another fiery friend, part of the channel. And hopefully, again, you'll continue to check us out as we continue on. Ooh, stock up. Okay. So our opponents, again, it's going to be another Azorius control deck. But, hey, we've actually gone pretty well against Azorius control so far. Don't want to get too ahead of myself, but we've been doing pretty good. Let them dig out their cards. That's fine. We just want to get down our spirits and just start messing with our opponents. Okay, no true value off of that, but we're just going to try to speed up the clock. We need to put pressure on our opponent quick. Down to 16. Okay, so the only thing that's going to hurt us is, at this point, a Wrath. If we get Wrath, that's where we're going to feel a little... Biza. Okay, so with Biza... what do we want to use here? Let's use No More Lives. That's actually harder to cast later on, but we can get rid of that now. Alright, so Seachrome Coast is a little awkward, but that's okay. We'll play the Mutavault first, though. Down to 13. So we still have room for Geistlight Snare and protection with Rattle Chains. We have options. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. Nothing yet. Ooh, the Wandering Emperor will be great for later on. If I was to guess right now, our opponent probably has the Wandering Emperor themselves. Wait for it. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, they have to get lost. Well, not quite a good guess on that one, but that's okay. Okay, let's Rattle Chains first. Does our opponent have a counterspell? So protect our spirits. We got it. Nice. Anything else, opponents? Anything else? Come on. All right, nice. Down to 9. So we got the damage in. That's great. Ooh, okay, well, they're going to Field of Ruin our Mutavault. Small price to pay, but that's actually fine. Let's get down another planes. So far we're doing great here. Once we get near the end of the stream in a little bit, we probably might have time for maybe like 1 or 2 more matches, depending on how long these take. But once we're done there, everybody, we'll do a nice little wrap-up. We'll talk about the deck, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as always. We'll cover a little bit more about, how I feel about it overall. And the final part, of course, will be if you're interested in playing, if you do want to see what's coming up in the future, you'll get a kind of nice little sneak peek as to what's to come. Okay, so in the meantime here, Mausoleum Wanderer. And we will Mutavault. Okay, well, it's damage. Down to 7. Better than nothing. We still have enough for a Geistlight Snare if our opponent tries to do anything cheeky. Narset. Do we care about Narset? I don't think we do. We're not looking over at this point to draw cards. All we just want to do is just close out this game. They're going to take down. Oh, so they got to No More Lies. Ew. That's not good against us. But it's something we can still fight through. Hallow Fountain. Turn on the Mutavault. Oh, opponent's gonna Field of Ruin us? Okay. Okay. We still have a couple basics. Never forget, anybody. Don't get too greedy with your mana bases. Try to at least have a basic or 2, at least just in case you get into that kind of situation. Do we care about hitting Narset and killing it? Or do we want to just swing? Put him down to 6. Again, I don't really care about Narset staying alive. That's not gonna help us out here. Okay. This is a tricky one. A Wandering Emperor could hurt us. They have a No More Lies. Our opponent can shut us down here very quickly with how things are going. Opponents. Nothing. Okay. Skyclave. Still, we're still in this. Our opponent has a Supreme Verdict now, so they have more wrathing options. Okay, they got the Wandering Emperor. Do we I guess we'll do it now. Nice Light Snare. Do they counterspell this? We have enough to pay for it. So that's not the issue. The issue is if they have 2 counterspells, like a Spell Pierce or something. I don't think they do. Okay, we got it. Nice. Okay, down to 5. Oh, we're so close. Our opponent has exhausted all of their stuff to just keep us down. But we push through a Planeswalker, a Wrath, spot removal. Little by little, we're trying to build. Just a little bit. Wandering Emperor number 2. Okay.
Feel the energy of battle, then guide it like water.
Okay. Again. They might have gotten us here.
Almost sad to see you go.
I mean, even if we Wandering Emperor ourselves, they're just going to counterspell. So, not good. Okay, Pathway Land. Skyclave. Maybe. Do they counterspell? They have no more lies. Get rid of the Wandering Emperor. No value off of that.
Done for good.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We feel like I'm losing a little momentum here. There's all the star charts. Ooh. Such a good card. One of the better cards from Edge of Eternities. I do like the card, but we haven't had a chance to really play with it. Very powerful, though. So they're refueling. They still have a Wrath, which blows us away that we can't stop, and they do have a No More Lies as well. Okay, do I force them to deal with to No More Lies us? Okay. Another land. Okay, we really need something else besides the lands. We'll just kind of keep that in hand. Do they have another Wandering Emperor? One there, 2 there. That means there's probably 2 more in the deck. Anything. Oh, they have to do it here. Arch of Otherworldly Light. Okay. Dang. So they'll get an illusion off of that. Akadar Waste. And we'll pass here. Consult the star charts again. Oh boy. Can we find a way around this? Man. We were starting to build that momentum, but they've been able to shut us down. I mean, this is the first Azorius control deck all day that's actually shut us down. Still, though, we're actually doing pretty good, all things considered. Not too bad so far. Okay. Opponents? Tapping. Okay, so do they swing? They do. Okay. Because then, I guess we'll Wandering Emperor now. Okay, opponents. We have enough to endure a No More Lies, at minimum.
Finally, I'm home.
We'll let it go, though. Down to 12. We will make a token. Granted, the token doesn't have any synergy with what we were doing, but we just need something down. But what's nice about the token also is it's not affected by another Wandering Emperor, so...
Remember your training.
Okay, come on, deck. We're so close to closing this out. Down to 4. So that probably means now the Supreme Phantom is going to blow away the board. Do they swing? Okay, they do. We'll keep the Wandering Emperor going because we want to make sure we have something to deal with it. Okay. So. Elspeth Stormslayer. Ugh. This might be ending faster than I thought now. Oh dear. Okay. I think our opponent might have been able to shift over things because now our Skyclave can't even hit Elspeth here. Ugh. It's not good. I get Skyclave. And we get Supreme Phantom. But neither of those are enough.
I must train harder.
Supreme Phantom. Which pumps up our team. Okay, pump.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Okay, wow. Oh, we're so close. We want to finish this out, but our opponent here put down a powerful Pale Planeswalker, and those Consult the Star Charts. Yeesh. They're actually getting... They're easily getting a ton of value as the game progresses. Wow. Okay. I'm going to still try to fight this out. I don't think we're going to win this one, but I'm going to see how much longer we can drag this one out. Because at this point now, our opponent is really deep in there with us. Also, I'm also looking at the clock, and I'm like, ooh, man. Ugh. I don't want to have to concede, but we're getting close to a point where I'm like, oh, dear. I might have to just because I got to take care of other things, everybody. But again, I still want to make sure I budget enough time for us to do a quick little wrap-up before we go. Okay, come on. Opponents. This has been our longest match also all day, too. But some way, somehow, we're still in it, if not for very long. Okay, so that does actually hit us a chunk here. Because our opponent will get to make 2 tokens, right? No. Maybe it was a bad idea to have the Skyclave. For once, Skyclave betrayed us. Toots. So they got 2 illusions? Okay. We're probably going to be cooked here soon. Now they don't even need the Supreme Verdict to blow us away. They get spot removal, everything we got, and we might be dead here. Okay. March of the... Oh, yeah. They don't need any more of that, so they blow us away. Oh, the Hall of Storm Giants? Yeah. Alright. Well done, opponents. Considering that we survived as long as we did. I mean, that wasn't horrible, but that Stormslayer was the game changer. That, along with those Consult the Star Charts, really good cards, by the way. And that actually dug out enough answers for our opponent to beat us. Such a shame. But again, that's not bad. We ranked up today just the same, and we actually got quite a few wins with the deck. So, I think that probably will be the one we're going to just end it on, everybody. So, let's actually go to the wrap-up for the deck. Let's explain and talk about the deck overall. Everything that we can. So, that was Spirit Squad, everybody, for the Pioneer format. And you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? At the beginning of the stream, we actually won a lot with the budget one, to the fact that I was actually pretty impressed, and I was actually really happy with how it turned out. I would definitely recommend this as the new variation of a budget mono blue tempo slash control deck, I guess you could say. So yeah, definitely play this one if you like spirits and maybe you're interested in having some fun with creatures that can get their own pump. They have flash built into them. You can mess with your opponent in a variety of ways. I would definitely say, if you actually want to also do maybe a little bit of ranking here and there, maybe this might be the deck for you if you want to play a little bit more serious on the ranked ladder for Arena. I didn't get a chance to, of course, play this in best of 3, but adjust the game plan however you need to for that. I mostly just put in cards that I thought might be helpful to supplement what Spirits was trying to do. So I can't really comment too much on that one, but it felt pretty good in best of 1. So no comments right now on best of 3 for Spirit Squad. Having said that, even though I didn't get a chance to play best of 3 with this, I do feel like the deck overall arguably is better in best of 1, mostly because your opponents won't have the way to sideboard in if you're playing best of 3 answers against Spirits. But the non-budget version, woo! This was also just a great deck too. Both decks actually performed very, very well today. So we got a lot more wins than we did losses. I think we only lost like in total over what? In an hour and a half? Maybe like 3 losses? That's pretty good. That's really good, actually, for us. Granted, again, as I'm going to remind you, this is going to be a very expensive upgraded deck. But if you're interested, I will put, of course, a link once we're done with the stream in just a little bit. So that way you guys can all click on it, check out the actual decks yourselves. And maybe if you do like maybe putting your own little spin on it, maybe adding in your own little spiciness to it, by all means do so. Maybe you might actually make a better version than what we did today. But otherwise, I don't really have too many negative notes about it. The only downside, of course, is the deck can fumble a little bit, as you saw with select. If we don't get our counter spells in time, control decks will wreck you, or otherwise, decks that are like mono red aggro, which can get underneath you with their spells, also can wreck you because they're just going to just attack faster than sometimes we can get stuff down. But again, we got quite a few wins in today with the decks. I'm really happy with them, and I'm very satisfied with how they turned out. So I would definitely recommend these, whether you want to play casually or if you even want to play ranked. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. Now, before we go today, for those of you who have stuck around this far into the video, thanks again as always for being my true fiery friends. So because of that, since you've made it this far into the live stream, let's get a little sneak peek as to, again, what's to come. So I do apologize because this deck tech was supposed to go out yesterday, but we had some delays and we had to throw around our scheduling just a little bit. Typically, I do live streams on Wednesdays and Fridays, but this week's schedule is going to be a little jumbled. So that's why we streamed today, but it still worked out pretty well. But anyway, going back to our deck tech. So tomorrow's YouTube deck tech will be going out in the morning for Is It Discard. I will explain again how the deck works. We'll go over that, of course, in the video itself. We'll have some gameplay for you in there. And if you do like the deck, there'll even be an upgrade section if you watch the very end of that. So check that out, please. And I would appreciate your views on that one, guys. Leave comments for any of my videos. I really would appreciate your feedback, whether you like the decks we build, whether if you don't like the decks we build, but let me know if you don't like the decks. I want to hear from you as to, what you feel might be better for the deck, or maybe what just doesn't work for you. But otherwise, beyond that, as far as other decks that we're going to be talking about, we're also going to be beginning to build our next ultra budget deck tech for beginner and budget players out there. So we have basically Margot. We're going to record a little bit more of this later today. So this is going to be next week's budget deck for viewers out there. We're also going to do an artifact aggro deck. So this will probably be the live stream on Friday or maybe even Saturday. Really kind of depends. I have to check my schedule. But otherwise, we're going to do a colorless deck around at least one more Omen Path card that I thought was kind of cool. So this is just going to be around Physic here. I think this is supposed to be Iron Spider in the Spider-Man set. But again, it's a very simple and easy to follow commander. Just put +1/+1 counters on artifact creatures and vehicles and just start using those counters to draw cards. So I think that might be a cool deck that we can build around. And it's also colorless, so that actually can be very unique among some of the decks we've done. As far as anything beyond that, well, I don't know. We still got a little ways to go until we get to Avatar. So we're probably going to start building, whatever else we've kind of missed so far for cards. So I'm going to use the rest of the month to play catch up, and maybe we'll do a couple more fun Halloween themed decks, maybe like a horror deck or a nightmare deck. We did one last year, so I would like to do some more fun stuff like that. But otherwise, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank you one more time to everybody that showed up today on the stream. I really appreciate every one of you. Even if you didn't say anything on stream, I still appreciate you guys checking in just the same. So let's give a shout out to those of you that were in the chat today. So Mr. Ice Vision and Loops also on YouTube there. Edge Spartan joining us and being a new follower over on Twitch. I appreciate you guys. And Thomas McCurry, hey, thanks again also for popping in and letting me know again. Hopefully that Terragrid deck goes well for you. You've actually inspired me to maybe do a Terragrid deck for our own, maybe at the end of the month for maybe the Halloween season. So appreciate you guys for that one. Otherwise, that's going to be it for that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, who cares? I forgot to say shout out again to those of you that I see, Matt Mark Fine Art over on Instagram over there, and also the Monkey, the Monkus Studios. Thanks again also for you popping in over there. If I don't get to see your name, if you didn't pop up in the chat from other locations, I do apologize for that. But also a shout out to those of you on X that may be watching as well. I still appreciate your eyes just the same. Full replays of these will go up, of course, once we're done here across all platforms I have been streaming on. So copies will go up on X, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. So pretty sure to check me out and watch me wherever you want to. But otherwise, that is it for today, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy the midweek Magic event. I believe, what is it? What are they doing right now? I think it's Momir. Oh, yeah, it's Momir. I mean, if you want to get some free wins, get some free cards, get your wins in with Momir and have fun with that, everybody. Not my biggest thing to do, but hey, I know some of you like Momir. But otherwise, that's it for today, everybody. One more thing before I do want to go, and before I leave you for today, I do want to remind everybody, just remember that no matter what you do play in your life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again on the weekend, everybody, with another live stream. Later.